those priorities throughout their organizations. What that overlooks is the fact that more often than not, department heads are already overburdened with the stresses of being directly responsible to elected political officials and having to make high-level decisions about service delivery issues. They have very low bandwidth for any type of new or innovative idea. However, if you go just below them to the band of middle management, you find a different situation. Middle management are highly skilled, highly knowledgeable about the workings of their departments. They have direct influence over departmental staff and resources, but they're not working under the same kind of daily constraints, the pressures that senior management is subject to. So they have the skills, the resources, and crucially, the flexibility to engage more creatively with new and innovative projects. While I was working in South Africa, I had a managing water engineer in Durban, a man named Speedy Woodliar, love that name, tell me that I can design a stormwater sewer in my sleep. You need more than that in life, he was telling me. You need something that'll get you up in the morning, that'll make you excited. And so what got him excited, what he does when he gets up in the morning, is he's helped design a hydro and micro-hydro electricity generation network that's going to be integrated, that currently is being integrated into the pipes that distribute fresh water through the city, that will generate enough power for 20,000 low-income homes within the city. Last year, Portland released one of the world's most ambitious climate change action plans. And it was middle management, again, who were the most helpful in the process of translation that's ensured that that plan has real buy-in and active implementation on the parts of the other departments. To tap into that potential, you need to use this bookshop, right? To engage both senior management, but crucially also to engage people who are just behind senior management. So that brings me to John. I love this picture. I mean, what a classy gentleman. Also a virtuoso musician. Between 1923 and his death in 1974, this was it. You know, if you wanted jazz, if you wanted big band jazz, he was it. He was also really important in terms of overall arts and culture in the United States. He's been described as the most important American composer of the 20th century. And he began his career in a cultural context where black people could not make high art. They were systematically excluded from being valued as real artists. But his talent was irrepressible. He won over artists who were black, who were white, it didn't matter. But rather than being an exception to that rule, Ellington became an exception that changed the rules. He and his musicians opened a door, allowing other people who came after him, like Charlie Parker, like Dizzy Gillespie, like Miles Davis, to gain recognitions as the artists that they were. In that way, Ellington is sort of the patron saint of this last principle that I want to cover today. Every sustainability or climate-related project that a municipality puts forward is going to run into obstacles, right? And the more interesting, the more innovative, the more ambitious the project, the larger the barriers are that it's going to have to overcome. One response to that is to try to find a way around it, sort of deke out the regulations, so that your concrete project, whether it's a LEED certified conference center or something else, gets to the end of the road. But the system overall doesn't learn anything. So the next project that comes along has to go through all those same steps and challenges, right? The other approach is to use any sustainability-related project as an opportunity to create an exception that can change the rules. I'll give you one short example of what I mean before my time runs out. Vancouver, while preparing its LEED Gold Olympic Village and Conference Center, that's a view from the village on the top, and that's the green roof of the Conference Center there on the bottom, realized that many of the green building technologies and design principles that it wanted to use were being blocked by elements in the zoning and building codes. When I was talking with Brent Chidarian, Vancouver's planning director, who's here, incidentally, at the conference, he explained that instead of just making an exception for the village, they were using it as a living laboratory to pilot new approaches that would quickly be integrated into the business-as-usual regulations in the city. For Vancouver, this meant both small-scale revisions, like removing code barriers to things like passive solar shading or height restrictions that unintentionally stood in the way of roof-mounted solar or access for rooftop gardens and green roofs. It also meant larger-scale shifts, things like requiring that all rezoning applications